Good afternoon, Mr. Ilangovan. We are from TB03 Group 4 and here is our presentation for Project 2.
Our team used the import configuration wizard in the read Excel operator to select Singletel's Excel file. Under the downloads, we would actually go down and search for Singletel's customers data and we will actually select it. From there, we'll press finish. This read Excel operator reads all the data from the Excel file and we included all the spreadsheet in the data, which there is only one. After that, we will actually run the process and obtain the results table. The results table displayed the data in which the results table displayed the data in which an example is represented by each row and an attribute represented by each column. Next, we will actually use the store operator. We will store Singletel's data in the local data repository using the entry parameter. And then after that, we'll press OK. The store operator stores the selected file at the location in the data repository. The location is specified through the repository entry parameter. The stored data is necessary for the retrieve operator to be used in other processes. Firstly, the retrieve operator reads the data from the data repository shown here, and it can be used to access the repositories. It will replace all the access as it provides full metadata processing. In contrast to accessing a new file, retrieve operator provides a complete metadata of the data, so all the metadata transformations are possible. The operator has no ports for import. Therefore, it requires a valid value in the repository value entry parameter. After running the process, we actually analyzed the results and identified some issues. In our results, we have a total of 743 customers in Singletel. They have a total of 30 missing tenures, which is approximately 0.43% of the total. As total charges is calculated by multiplying tenure and monthly charges, missing values for tenure results in total charges to not be computable. The missing values for tenure will be an issue when we are trying to identify the common and key attributes which contributed to these customers who have decided who have defected and may result in an inadequate prediction of who we are likely to leave Singletel services in the near future. The operator that is used here is known as generate attribute. This operator constructs new attributes from the attributes of the input example set and arbitrary constants using mathematical expressions. The attribute names of the input example set might be used as variables in the mathematical expressions for new attributes. This operator, these expressions are evaluated on each example. These variables are then filled with examples attribute values. Generate attribute not only creates new columns from new attributes, but also fills the columns with corresponding values of these attributes. In the function description of the parameter list, generate attribute is used to fill in the missing values of tenure. The function expression states that if tenure is missing, compute by dividing total charges with monthly charges. Missing total charges is computed by multiplying tenure with monthly charges. Numerical numbers for senior citizens are replaced with yes for 1 and no for 0. TV support, tech support, online security and device protection are changed to binomial. Therefore, they are changed to show yes and no. After running the process, actually shows a result of 7,043 customers and a total of 16 attributes.
For 3.3.2, use an operator to remove attributes that you think will not be a good predictor. The operator that is used to remove attributes is select attributes. This operator selects which attributes of Singletel should be kept and which attributes should be removed. If not, all attributes of Singletel are required. It is useful to keep only the attributes that will aid in the customer churn analysis. Only 11 attributes such as churn, contract, device protection, internet service, mobile service, monthly charges, online security, senior citizen 1, tech support, tenure, total charges 1, will be derived from the output port, and the 5 unselected attributes such as customer ID, gender, senior citizen, TV service, and total charges will be removed from the Singletel dataset. Our team feels that Gender and customer ID are not important factors for churn analysis as they are only serving as an identification of customers and hence may not be good predictors for the customer churn. Senior citizen attribute cannot be used for churn analysis because it contains integers, which will not work in the decision tree as the numerical numbers cannot be used to derive a conclusion. Total charges is also not included as it contains wrong values. Hence, we recalculated and replaced them with senior citizen 1 and total charges 1, which are corrected. And TV service is not included because TV service is not the primary services that is provided by Singtel. Therefore, we decided to remove it from the attributes as it might not be the main reason why customers churn. 3.3. Set the necessary role using an appropriate operator for the attribute that you will need to predict. Nominal to binomial is the next operator used in the process. This operator is used to change the type of nominal attribute to a binomial. Nominal to binomial not only alters the type of selected attribute, but also maps all values of the attributes to binomial values. All the attributes are moved from the left to the right and used in the parameter. The operator used is setRow. This operator is used to change the row of one or more attributes. The row set for the attributes will reflect different results, and each attribute will only have one row. There are several special rows that we can set for different attributes, such as label, ID, and prediction. The objective is to predict whether customers of Singtel are likely to leave the service, as well as the common attributes of those customers that churn. Thus, churn is the attribute that we are predicting since we want to know whether customers are likely to leave the company. The target row that we set for churn is label, because this row will make churn the goal variable and this will be the attribute that is being predicted. Furthermore, when the decision tree is applied, there will be classifications made in relation to customers' churn, which allows us to know some key attributes for customers who are likely to leave the company as well as for those customers who are staying with Singtel.
The split data operator is used and will produce the desired number of subsets given the Singtel data through partitioning the data according to the ratio that we set in the partitions parameter. The sum of the ratio of all partitions should add up to 1, representing 100%. For Singtel, the data is split into the ratio of 0.7 and 0.3. The ratio of 0.7 and 0.3 is a common ratio used for data sets and is a rule of thumb. It can be seen over here. These are the ratios. So, since we are training and testing the model, there should be more metadata to train the data because it is the first stage where we build the model. If the model can be built from all the 70% of the ratio, it will be more reliable, and then applying the data through testing with a reliable model will produce a more accurate prediction. Therefore, 70% of Singtel's data will be used to train the model and 30% of the data will be used to test the model. In terms of sampling type, shuttling sampling is used with random subsets and ensures that the class distribution in the subset is the same as in Singtel customer data. As the attributes are changed to binomial classification, stratified sampling builds random subsets such that each such subset contains roughly the same proportions of the two values of class labels. Split data operator is necessary because if we do not train and test the data model, there may be inaccuracy in the results because the whole of the Singtel data is directly applied to a model without testing the accuracy of the model that is being built. When the model built is inaccurate, the predictions for customer churn will also be not be reliable. Next, the decision tree operator is used. This operator presents data which is classified by the different attributes that causes the selected attribute churn to be yes or no. Decision tree is only used in the prediction of 70% of the data which we split previously because this operator is it displays the different classification of relative attributes in a clear and significant way. The minimal gain is 0.004 because the gain of the node is calculated before splitting it. The node is split if its gain is greater than the minimal gain. A higher value of minimal gain results in fewer splits and thus a smaller tree. Hence, we reduce the value of the minimal gain to get more splits, resulting in a larger tree and more accurate prediction. The minimal leaf size is the size of the leaf in the number of examples in subset. The tree is generated in such a way that every leaf has at least a minimal leaf size number of 8 examples. So therefore, we changed it to 8. The minimal size for split of a node is the number of examples in its subset. Only nodes with size greater than or equals to the minimal size of the split parameter will be split. Our minimum size for split is 5. For the number of pre-pruning alternatives when split is prevented by pre-pruning at a certain node, this parameter will adjust the number of alternative nodes tested for splitting. Our number for pre-pruning alternative is set to 3, as seen over here. So next, we'll be using the apply model operator for the testing of the accuracy of the process model. So the model is trained by the decision tree, and it is applied for testing through the apply model operator. The apply model operator is able to apply an already trained model of Singtel customer and use it to showcase the confidence level of predictions indicated. After applying the model, we use the performance operator to evaluate the performance of the model through measuring accuracy of our training data. After running the process, the contribution matrix is derived from the 4,113 examples, and the accuracy of the model is being defined, which is 76.01%. We'll now be evaluating the performance of the model described in detail every part of the confusion matrix. The confusion matrix shows an overall accuracy of 76.01% for the decision tree model. Focusing on the true no column, which is also known as the class record for no's, only 1,246 times where it predicted no and where it is a true. But the rest, when it's predicted 306, it is actually a no. This led to a class record of 80.28%. As for the other column, the true yes, of the 561 times that the out of the 461 true yeses, only 360 was predicted yes, with the remaining predicted no. This led to a 64.17% accuracy of class recall. Next, moving on to the class position. Of all the predicted no's, only 1,246 turned out to be actual no's, while the remaining were actually true yeses. So this led to a class position of 86.11%. And out of all the predicted yeses, only 360 were true yeses, while the remaining were actually no's. This led to a class position of 54.05%. All of this led to the overall accuracy of 76.01%.
We'll now be evaluating the decision tree results and make recommendations to sales and marketing director. As you can see from the start of the table, the prediction of the decision tree is initially determined if the customers are binded by a contract. And it can be observed that customers with contract are actually less likely to churn, as you can see from all the no results in the yes branch of the contract, with only one yes, and that's if their total charges was lesser than 5,808.5, and all these are met. So it can be assumed that the customer's contract status is significant in deciding if they would churn. However, what seems to play the biggest part in the decision making is tenure attribute. It appears often as the criteria to whether a customer would leave Singtel, and it usually predicts a no if the value is more than 25, as you can see from here. The value is lesser than 25.5, it's predicted as yes, they would churn, but the remaining, all of them above 25, it will be predicted as a no. This means that customers are less likely to leave if they have longer tenure durations. Another attribute to note is actually tech support. As you can see over here, if there is tech support, usually you end up with a no. And as for here, it's the same for contracts. Tech support, yes. Device protection, no. No. You will typically end up with a no. Therefore, tech support is important. Therefore, tech support is important because tech support is highly valued by customers, as they will be able to turn to Singtel if they were to face problems with anything in the service. So, following the decision tree analysis, our team has 3 recommendations to suggest to the sales and marketing director to reduce customer churning. Firstly, Singtel can focus on customer benefit packages by including more rewards in their contract. According to the evaluation of the decision tree, a Singtel customer binded by a contract is less likely to churn, as mentioned before, compared to a customer who has no contract. Hence, with more benefits and rewards tied in with the contract, it encourages and entices customers to enter a contract with Singtel for added benefits. Secondly, Singtel should give loyalty rewards to customers for the number of months they have subscribed to the service. This is done to build rapport and personal relationship with the customers to make them feel valued by Singtel. As observed in the decision tree, customers with higher tenures have a lower possibility of churning from the company. Therefore, by introducing efforts to prolong and extend customers' tenure with Singtel, the risk of them leaving the for another company is lowered, improving on the loyalty they have towards Singtel. Lastly, Singtel should ensure that tech support will be a guaranteed benefit to all customers regardless of their contract status. From the analysis of the decision tree, customers who receive tech support are less likely to churn. These customers would feel more reassured because they have experts and professionals to turn to for solutions if they face any problems with their service. And that concludes the end